I made it 3 seconds, didn't say a word about the Leafs, Dal. How about that?
But you just did now. There you go.
It's not really something. I'm just,
You said something.
I'm just acknowledging that I'm going to be the bigger person this time.
Okay. Good luck with
No, we
that.
got bigger things to talk about. Congrats on the release of the new record, the self-titled album Dallas Smiths, available now. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's great. Release day is always exciting. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into these things and a lot of support, a lot of So watch this thing come out and get the feedback that we're getting, and yeah, man, it's an exciting time. So I'm excited about the next few weeks, and as people discover the record and see what song they start to gravitate towards after listening to it a few times. Yeah, it's a really interesting part of the process for sure.
Our release day's got to be, you say it's exciting. I'm sure it is. I'm sure there's a variety of emotions that go along with it. And these albums don't just create themselves, and they certainly don't do it overnight. You've been working on this for a while, eh?
Yeah, the last record, Timeless, came out 3 years ago. So, after touring that one for a while, I mean, it was, man, like 2 years ago, we released Hide from a Broken Heart and started like trickling songs out from this project. So, yeah, 1, 2, and Singing in a Beer. And then we've got 9 other tracks, 9 other new ones.
Yeah. Hey, congrats on the CCMA, by the way, for 1, 2. Yeah. And I think it might have been you that said in an interview that because it was a tie, which always creates a fun thing when it gets announced. You and Mackenzie win for 1, 2, and High Valley and Alison Krauss. So in the category of a collaborative category,
we collaborated on the collaboration award. But you also think back and go, damn, did I vote? Was I the one that could have put it over the edge? Nah, whatever. I could have shared it with Worth guys, man. I love those guys, and I love Brad. He's a great dude, and always been. I'm a big fan of him, and yeah, it was a fun moment.
Well, let's shine a light though on 1, 2, which is one of the singles on the new record Dallas Smith that's out today, and you and Mackenzie worked together on that. And it's hard to take or to be in the situation to be able to take two of the best voices in the country, put them together on one song.
Yeah, it's killer. I've been very, very fortunate with even with Terry Clark with One Drink Ago, right? It's a really great experience to do a collaboration at all, do a project with somebody like that. It's a fun process, and yeah, I mean, 1, 2 is no different. She's always been a huge fan of Mackenzie and she's a friend of mine. So being on the same label finally, and yeah, putting that song out together was great. We're actually gonna do the CP Holiday Train together this year as well for a week.
So cool.
To spend the time with her, yeah.
Good stuff. So on the record Dallas Smith that's available now anywhere people buy tunes is, here you are about 12 years into the country chapter of your career, and it's the 5th album. Is there anything in particular you're trying to say on the record?
Just, man, always trying to just check those boxes, right? It's all about, I always appreciated records that had a lot of different variety on them, a lot of different styles. So like whatever mood you were in, you could always go back to the same record. That was always the ones that really stood with me, the records. So it's always been a goal of mine to have stuff over here, which is why we released Fixer Upper and CRZY to DSPs. When we released Fixer Upper, it was like, it's going to sound as progressive as this, and then it's going to sound as traditional country as this, and everything in between, all the different influences that have come in with different writers and different things that I've experienced over the last few years. And yeah, it's all about that, and which translates hopefully to people connecting to the record and being able to play all these different styles of songs live. Just creates a much more interesting palette to pull from.
For sure. And you mentioned the 2 songs that were released to DSPs a few weeks ago, including Fixer Upper, that's now out at radio and playing all the time on Cool 100. And I mean, I had to play the song on the radio before talking to you because I didn't want to answer to not playing it, right?
Was it First Spin? You just debuted it on the Make It or Break It sort of thing, right? Yeah.
But you also mentioned the writers involved on not just those tracks, but if people look up and down the writing credits on all 12 songs on the record Dallas Smith that again's out now, it's an all-star cast of writers. It really is.
Pretty fortunate. Yeah, I mean, Jake Owen and Morgan Wallen and Hardy, obviously. And yeah, I mean, there's one of my favorite new writers and artists, Stephen Wilson Jr. is on CRZY. And yeah, it's really great to have that backing and that trust from your friends and fellow artists. Yeah.
See, I think you just hit on the answer to what I was about to ask. I don't think writers of that caliber are going to throw their songs at just anybody.
Yeah, because you could absolutely crap all over it and it turns out terribly, right? And that's where the trust factor comes in. You trust in your team, trust in you, and trust in what you're going to do with it. Yeah.
Cool. I'd mentioned there a couple of seconds ago, where has time gone, right? It was, I think, back in 2011, you put out Somebody Somewhere, and here we are again, 5 records later. And I could read you your resume and, like 500 million global streams. And, it's got to be a dozen and a half #1 singles or close to the whole thing. This is just what I got off the top of my head. But let me spin it to you this way. All these years later and all those accolades and a billion CCMAs, how do you define success?
I mean, the music thing is really only one part of my life, one little silo, right? Yeah, it's if I'm proud of it, um, yeah, that's a success to me, you know. But yeah, whether it being a father or being just a human being walking this earth, right? I mean, you can have successes in a lot of different ways, and um, yeah. But if you put out anything that's art and you're proud of it, that's the success, right? I think I just saw Rick Rubin say that in an interview that I saw. It's just like the minute you believe in what you're doing, it's successful. Um, yeah, which is a really interesting take. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I've asked that question of a lot of artists, and the reason I do it, 2 reasons. I like to prepare only once. I'm a lazy guy, and secondly,
I know.
it's because you're well aware. But
Yeah.
the other reason is because it gives me a little peek, and I think our audience too, on what makes you tick. And all that to say, you might be the only person who took that question and expanded the answer beyond just the art, the idea of being proud of your family and a good father and everything else. So good on you.
Am I
Now the
maturing?
video,
Is that what's
the
happening?
video. What's that?
Am I maturing? Is that what's happening? Is it finally happening?
Wait a minute. If it's happening to you, it might be happening to
You're
me.
way behind. Maybe we're both way behind, man.
Well, actually, no. To the point about the maturation, all anyone has to do is go find the video for Fixer Upper. They're going to see it.
Oh yeah. When that song just speaks to me as we're a constant work in progress, and whether it be through music, through fatherhood, through as just a husband, anybody walking this earth, right? We're a constant work in progress, trying to move that forward and make it a better place than how you left it, or how leave it a better place in whatever way you can. Bring some joy and to touch people's lives. I mean, that's the other part of success with the music stuff, right? Is that seeing people there singing the words back to you, and life is expensive, man. To see people spending their hard-earned money at a show, because you've moved them in some way to do that. I mean, that's such a great feeling. Yeah.
Right on. Good.
Yeah.
Well, all the success in the world moving forward with the new record, Dallas Smith's available anywhere. Now, if I were to get my hands on this, and I will, on release day, we know of some of the singles we've already got on our hands, including the couple that were released there just a few weeks ago. But what's the song on that record that I maybe haven't heard yet that I need to go find right away?
I'm gonna hit you with two. I'm gonna go Use Me
All
and
right.
How Do You Miss Me? I think those are the two that I would say if you, yeah. It was a band.
And what is it about each of those? What is it about them?
I've always championed the song Use Me. There was something about the vibe of that one. And then once the actual finished product comes back and a song that exceeds your expectations and how it turned out, it was like, yes, I knew there was a reason why that one I knew that. And then How Do You Miss Me is it's a Hardy written track, just a banger. This is a great tune. So yeah,
good stuff.
Well,
I love yeah, it's always great when there's a new Dallas Smith project on our lap, let alone 12 songs on the record. It's available now. And if we were to get together, you and I, on October 27th of 2024, how would you like that conversation to go in terms of what you'd accomplished in the last year?
Well, hopefully both of us are above ground and life is good on all senses, man. Family and friends, and hopefully what we're doing is as a passion in your career, right?
Yeah.
We our friendship goes beyond just the industry part of this and music. So yeah, hopefully you and I can have that kind of a conversation a year from now, buddy.
You got all the right answers, man. I was going to give you something more superficial, like I hope my handicap goes from 17.7 down to 15.7.
You know which direction it's going to go, and it's not that way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm afraid you've seen it in practice too many times.
I have firsthand, dude. I know.
All right, one last question on the way out the door.
Yep.
When you pack to travel, because I understand you're in Nashville now,
Yep.
you take your passport and do you pack away the losers since '67 jersey right around it, or?
Oh man, the Leafs are playing here tomorrow night, and I've already brought this up in another interview. I'm like, I forgot to bring my jersey. And I'm like, it's Friday. There's no way it's gonna make here if Kristen overnights it. So I've just no. Next time I'm gonna bring that one down.
Well, it is scary to say because again, I have some of the attributes of your resume in front of me, and this big sizzle sheet, and I could read it off to you, and they're staggering numbers. The scary thing is, I believe the best is yet to come for you, man. And if that's the case, we all win.
Oh, buddy, thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it.
Dallas, where do people find you on socials, my man?
My name, pretty much. Dallas Smith Music, Instagram, all that stuff. Pretty easy to find out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, and the record is as well for the very same reason. It's self-titled, called Dallas Smith. It's available now. Congrats on its release. And
Thanks,
I like to ask you the same question as we wrap this up every time, whether it's at Boots and Hearts or on Zoom right now. Do you have any questions of me?
We already thought, well.
The answer can be no. It's okay.
No, I think I got everything I needed out of you, Paul.
And you've given me more than enough time. So thanks.
Well, hopefully I'll be in Toronto next week. I'll be around the area. So hopefully I get to see you. So that'll be the question off the air is like, when can I see you?
All right. I'm going to give you the answer to that off the air. Dallas, thanks, man.
All right. Talk soon, buddy. You're the best.